usually we would start with players, but I think we got to start with owners because they're getting more headlines of late. Let's start with Chelsea, Todd Boehly, and I just wonder what's the reaction been to everything that's happening at the club, especially the pre-game speech that he apparently gave the team ahead of the Real Madrid game.
Look, I mean, Todd Boehly's come in and he has been everything that you would not want an American owner to be, in the sense that, you know, the game has moved on so much in the US and it's a really competitive nation now, but Todd Boehly kind of ticks all the old stereotypical boxes about an American that doesn't understand the game, and he's come on and he's made so many mistakes. The first mistake, sacking Thomas Tuchel. The second mistake, hiring Graham Potter. I mean, you could argue that his first mistake was wasting so much money in the summer, but everything he does seems to be a bad decision based on a lack of knowledge or lack of experience. And, you know, going into the dressing room at the weekend, I think that was probably the least of his problems because, you know, I know from experience at Chelsea, going the past 20 years, Roman Abramovich would often go in the dressing room and say his piece or congratulate or tell players off or pull the manager up, but it's not that unusual. But I do think that Todd Boehly doesn't really know what he's doing right now, and he's making a mess of everything, and he's got to find a new manager soon. And do we trust him to do that and get that right?
First off, it's not unusual, and it's also in their right. He's the owner. That said, I've been in situations as a player when the owner comes in and you absolutely know he has no idea what's going on. He has no idea what he's talking about. All he's putting up is the money, which is fair and fine, but players can see through that. Players know when when an owner is invested enough to actually know what's going on, so that could be counterproductive in itself. Staying on owners, Augie, the Glazers. What's going on with Manchester United? Are the Glazers going to sell or not? What's the latest?
Well, I did a story at the start of the week saying that I'd heard that the Glazers are confident that certainly Joel and Avram, there's obviously 6 siblings, and Joel and Avram are the two, the two public-facing siblings at Old Trafford. They're the guys that have been the co-chairmen that have been around. They're the people that you see in the director's box when they turn up, which isn't very often. But they want to retain control, whereas the other 4 Glazers, Kevin, Edward, Darcy and Brian, are quite happy to offload their stake. So they're encouraging outside investment from, I think there's 4 US-based hedge funds that are involved. So right now, it looks like Avi and Joel have got a chance to be propped up by hedge funds, which is the fans' worst nightmare because the fans want them out. They've been in charge at United for 18 years now. And, you know, the team, as we're seeing against Sevilla tonight, are not good enough, and the stadium at Old Trafford has been neglected over the years to the point where it's not even on the shortlist to host a game at Euro 2028. If England or the UK get the bid, Old Trafford won't host a game because it's not fit for hosting games. It's the biggest stadium in England, but it's not been touched for 20 years nearly. So, you know, the Glazers are basically, they've run their race at Old Trafford, but they want to stay on. Certainly Joel and Avi does. So, yes, there are offers on the table from Qatar and from Jim Ratcliffe, Britain's richest man, but I'm being told that Avi and Joel particularly want to explore every possibility that will enable them to stay at the club and borrow money to rebuild the stadium and just stay there, because they think, you know, in 6, 7, 8 years down the line, that it might not be a £5 billion club, but a £10 billion club. So they're just holding on as long as they can.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.